Hey guys, welcome to Nyonya Cooking. Today I am going to fulfill another recipe request, and this is coming from Sarah On and also Big Feng from Vietnam. So this recipe is called Pie Tee. Now Pie Tee is a very special Nyonya or Peranakan recipe, which is normally an appetizer. It is served at the beginning of the meal, just to have some small bites. It's really very pretty. In English we call it top hats. Really very beautiful, elegant looking appetizer. Now if you serve this to your friends and family who have never seen that, they'll be totally surprised, and the taste of it is really very delicious and it's healthy as well. So when I actually took a look at the recipe, there were many stories about how this is actually associated with the British, because in Britain they have pastries, and pie tea sounds very similar to pastry. I don't know about that, but what I do know is that this is really very beautiful and it's delicious. So first of all, we will need some yam bean. In Malaysia we call this Chinese turnip. I know in Mexico they have something similar, and this is what they call jicama. We will also need some fried tofu, or also known as tau kwa, some shrimps. You can use bigger shrimps if you want. These are just fermented bean paste, garlic, a bit of salt, and to make the shell of the top hats we'll need some plain flour or all-purpose flour, rice flour, water, and also corn flour. Now you need to have this three mixture, or what I would say is just have the normal all-purpose flour. That would do too, although I think this combination will give you this really crispiness of the shell. Dark soy sauce, light soy sauce, and also some sugar. To decorate pie tea, what you can use is spring onions, and then you can also add some chilies, eggs, carrots also. It really depends on what you like. Cucumber. People also add some bean sprouts. So it's really up to you. You can go crazy. We will begin cooking by preparing the filling. Now remember I said we need yam bean or Chinese turnip earlier. This is how it looks like if you have not seen it. I hear you can get them, although very seldom. I got this flown directly from Malaysia. So yeah, all the way from Malaysia, and I am really very excited to go ahead with making my pie tea. Let's begin by preparing the fillings. Now the filling itself uses yam bean as the main ingredient. Now when you shred the yam beans, remember to soak them with water and then rinse it off to get rid of the starch, because it tends to be very starchy. So remember to do that. That's a very important step. And then try to shred it as thin as possible, but not too thin. Yeah? So something like this would be just great. Now the pan is heated up. We have a bit of oil, just about half a tablespoon, and I'm carefully adding the garlic, fermented bean paste, so stir fry this at really low heat, and then once you smell the fragrance coming out, that's when you can add the prawns. Okay, then we can add the yam bean. And do not forget the fried tofu. Mix it well. Be careful to not break the tofu pieces or the tofu slices. Now just for taste, to add some saltiness, I am going to add a pinch of salt. Okay. And then also some water. I'm just going to let this boil, and once it starts boiling, I'm going to let it simmer until the gravy is almost dried up, and then it's done. Now at this point of time, you can also throw in some shredded carrots if you like, just to add some color, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. Now that we have added the water, I'm going to add the rest of the seasoning. So a bit of soy sauce, dark soy sauce, and also sugar. So it has been cooking for about an hour now, and you will notice that the yam bean is now very much softer. So let's check. The gravy is almost gone. When you're cooking this, remember to stir this occasionally just to ensure that the heat is distributed evenly. Yep, it's done. So it's really soft. Gravy is almost done. That's great. And I'm going to transfer this into a bowl. The filling of the pie tee is now ready. You can actually smell the fermented bean paste here. It's really very delicious. I would eat this with rice actually, but instead I'm going to refrain myself and going to place this in the refrigerator because I'm going to prepare the shell of the pie tee the next day. It really looks pretty cute, exactly like a top hat. Now that is a whole different process on preparing the top hats or the shell of the pie tee. So let's check it out the next day. Now this is day 2 and we're going to prepare the shells. Now you can actually prepare the shells a few days in advance and keep it in an airtight container. I did it the other way around. I completed the fillings first and then now we're preparing the shells. So either way it's up to you. Let's mix all the flour together. Corn flour, rice flour. Now be very careful, this is not glutinous rice but just plain rice flour. And then all-purpose flour or wheat flour. And we're just going to whisk this. Then salt. So we're going to create a well in the middle. I'm going to break the egg. Oops. Now very carefully, I'm just going to pour in a bit of water, bit by bit. The last bit of the water. Now just to ensure that we will have a smooth batter, I'm just going to run this through a sieve, and then let's see, this is exactly what I meant because you see a bit of flour or dough chunks. Once this is done, I'm going to leave it aside for about 1 hour, and this step is very important. We're going to have it aside for 1 hour because we want to ensure that the flour goes really well together and it creates this kind of stickiness or a very thick texture that we can't get immediately. We left it aside for 1 hour because we wanted the starch to really work out, and now it is ready. So I poured the batter into this small little cup because I have to dip the mold of pie tee into this batter, and that's why we have to find something that is low enough that allows the mold to dip into the batter. And this mold, you can get it in Malaysia. I believe some online stores sell it. I'm not too sure because my mom got it for me directly from Malaysia. So I believe also different countries like Thailand, they do have something similar. So I'm sure you're going to get that. But otherwise, this is how it looks like. It's made out of brass, if I'm not mistaken. You need to heat up the oil at medium heat, nothing too hot, nothing too mild. And then we're going to dip this mold directly into the pot for a few seconds, and then we're going to lift it up and then dip it into this batter. I'm going to show you how it looks like later. Now it's really okay if they don't turn out perfectly all the time. A few tips that I would like to share with you is that when you dip this into the batter, just dip it once. Try not to have too thin of a shell, but also not too thick, or else it will not be nice when you eat them. So again, dip once, up, go into the oil, try and shake it off, then dip it right to the bottom of the pot, and it should come off easily, but if it doesn't, then just use the chopsticks to gently push it out. Yep, in this case it already came out by itself. So you're going to fry this until they turn golden brown, and then you can just leave it aside. And when you fry this, keep turning the shells around just to ensure that you get a very nice shade of brown layer on the shell, or else, you know, one side would be nicely brown and on the other side it would be slowly really white, and that would be not very beautiful. That was quite some work. I had to fry these little top hats or pie tea shells, and this is how it looks like now. So I'm going to fill it out with the filling that we have prepared the day before. Fill it in carefully. Top it up with some cucumber slices. And this is basically omelette. This is a bit of egg, a bit of chili, and some spring onions. So this is how it's supposed to look like. This is exactly pie tea. Now for the filling, you can always add some carrot slices, as I mentioned earlier, but if you don't have it or you don't want it, you can just use it plain like this, like how I cooked it. And as for garnishing, here I have a few things that I've selected, and it's really up to you. You can also serve it with coriander, for example, but always serve it with a bit of chili sauce, and my selected chili sauce for today is the Thai chili sauce. If you want to make them your own, that's description box has the link to the recipe. Or you can also serve it with a bit of chili garam. And chili garam is basically just blended chili paste with a bit of salt, lime juice. It's very delicious as well. So it gives a bit of spiciness to pie tea. Now, since I have a bit of Thai chili sauce here, I am just going to place it on top of the pie tea. Yeah. Don't you think it looks gorgeous? It doesn't only look so pretty, so cute, but it also smells amazing. You can smell the fresh cucumber and also scallions, chili, and then added to that you have this Thai chili sauce. But what is most important in this is the yam bean filling that I made that is cooked with a bit of fermented soybean. So it's really, really delicious now. Guys, this is amazing. It is just so amazing. The effort to create this requires a bit of time, of course, as you have already seen. But this is definitely a party starter. You bring this to any party, people will come talking to you immediately. So honestly, because it's just so delicious. I love this so much. I really enjoy pie tea whenever I can have them. So remember, if you want to bring this to a party, do not fill it up directly with the filling, because the shell tends to get a bit soggy after a while. So if you want to have this prepared in advance, maybe 15 minutes before, then you can fill it up. But otherwise, I would actually advise you to prepare the filling and leave it aside beside the shells and let your guests actually assemble it themselves, and that way you get this crispiness from the shell, and then you get a freshness of the filling. For recipe requests, guys, just head on to nyonyacooking.com, and that is also where you get the full recipes of videos that I've already made. And that's when you can also subscribe to our newsletter if you want the recipes delivered directly to your mailbox without even checking YouTube from time to time. So I hope that you'll follow me on Instagram as well, and subscribe to this channel if you have not. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and send me photos of recipes that you have created, and let's inspire others to cook as well. Till then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy cooking!